Starting with probability, we have the questions coming in as the diagram shows the pointer which spins so and so forth. And when you look at the question, the probability of 1 is given to you, 2 is given, 3 is given, but they did not give you the probability of 4. So in that scenario, what do? There is a rule that sum of all probabilities is equal to 1. That means when I add this is all equal to 1. So how do I calculate the missing probability then? To calculate the missing probability, there's one simple rule that I would follow. I would do 1 minus 0.35 minus 0.16 minus 0.27 is what I do, and I get the answer as 1 minus all of these values. When I do it, then I get the answer as 0.22. So he's asking the same thing. Work out the probability of this. So 1 minus of 0.35 plus 0.16 plus 0.27 is what you do, and then you get 0.22 as the answer here. Then it says work out the probability that the pointer will stop at 1 or 3. When they say 1 or 3, that means or means addition. What do? You add them. What is the probability of 1? It is 0.35. And what is the probability of 3? It is 0.27. You add the probability of 1 and 3. So 0.35 plus 0.27 turns out to be how much? It turns out to be 0.62. Okay, and then it says Umar is going to spin the pointer 75 times. Okay, he is going to spin it 75 times, and then it says work out the probability that work out an estimate of the number of times the pointer will stop on 2. So what is the probability of 2? We will first see that the probability of 2 is 0.16 and 75 times. Okay, so 0.16 because he's doing it 75 times, so 75 times of 0.16 is what you do here. So when you do it, so you get your answer. Why are we doing it? It is going to be 12 times the probability of 1 time multiplied by 75 times. I will get the complete probability. Okay, and what is the general formula for finding the probability? Wanted upon total. So if they say there's a bag with 3 red balls and 4 black balls are there, 4 black balls, these are balls. Okay, these are balls, and there are 5 green balls are there. What is the probability of getting a green ball is what they're asking. So what is the probability of getting a green ball? Green ball is equal to 5 are the green balls divided by the total number of balls, that is equal to 9. 12 would be the 5 by 12 would be the answer. That's how we do it. Okay, now this was the general formula that we have done. Now let's look at the second question that is given. Each card is red, blue or yellow, green card. These are the cards that are given to you: a red, blue, yellow or green. The table shows the probability of these 3 of them. What is the probability of the the table shows the probability of taking a red, blue, and yellow card. George takes a card from the box. What is the probability that it is going to be a green card? So what is the question we have known? 1 minus 0.3 and 1 minus 0.3 plus 0.35 35 plus 0.15 is what you do. So that becomes 1 minus of 1 minus 0.3 minus 0.35 minus 0.15. That turns out to be how much? That turns out as 0.2 as the probability of green. So the probability of green would be 0.2. Okay, then after that, Josh replaces his card in the box. That means he takes out the card and puts it back. Anish takes a card from the box and then replaces the card. He takes out the card and puts it back. Anish does this 40 times. Work out the estimate of the number of card Anish takes a yellow card. Okay, so what is the probability that he's going to get for the yellow card? It is going to be the same way we are going to do it. What is the probability of yellow card? First of all, it is 0.15 is the probability that we have for the yellow card. Okay, and then what do we do ahead? We are asked to, if he's saying that, he's mentioning that Anish is doing it for how many times? Anish is doing it for 40 times. So times 40 is what you do, and 40 times of 0.15 is going to be 6. So 6 times he's going to work out that he's going to get the, out of the 40 times, he's going to get 6 times the yellow card when he's picking it out. Okay, and let's look at the next question over here. It says that here are the five-sided spinner. Hand spins 30 times. Work out the estimate for the number of times it lands on red. Okay, first of all, we need to see if there is anything given behind for the red thingy, any table or anything. No, there's nothing given. Over from here only we have to find it. So how many reds do I have? I have 1 and 2 red. 2 reds out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 over 5 is the probability of red, and then this is what he's doing is 30 times. So 30 times of 2 over 5. Okay, if I do it, it becomes 12 would be the answer here again. Okay, how did I do it? I calculated how many reds I have divided by the total quantity, because he asked about the red. So red over the total quantity, that is 2 over 5, and when I simplify it, it comes as 12. Moving to the next one. Helen is taking part in a quiz. The probability she answers the questions correctly is this. Helen is asked 2 questions. Okay, answers a question correctly is this. Okay, for one question, it is 4 over 5. Calculate the probability that she answers both the questions correctly. The first question she is going to answer 4 over 5. Okay, and then the second question also she's going to answer correctly. So when you're talking about this kind of a situation, both the questions she's going to answer, then it multiplies as 4 over 5. It is going to multiply as what it is going to multiply as. It is further going to multiply as 4 over 5, because first of all, if I tell you, these kind of questions have not been taught to you before. Okay, but then they're asking in the examination now. So it's like a tree diagram that you have. There's this girl Helen, she's answering the question, so it can be correct in one go, which is 4 over 5, correct, or incorrect, that would be 1 over 5. And then if she answers correctly, the next one is also 4 over 5, and the next one would be 1 over 5. The first one she can answer incorrect, but the second one she can answer correctly, so that would be 4 over 5, or second one also she can answer incorrectly, that would be 1 over 5. So if you're going this way, what you do is you do 4 over 5 times 4 over 5, that becomes 16 over 25. And you may say, what is this, miss? This is the question that has been given by this teacher, not me. Okay, when they are talking about two things happening one after the other, the first event happens and the second event happens again, then you take the same probability and multiply it twice, is what you need to remember. Next question. A fair 6-sided dice is rolled 3 times. Okay, find the probability of getting 6 all the 3 times. What is the probability of getting a 6? It is 1 over 6 for a dice, right? And you are going to get it for 3 times. So times 3, it is going to be how much? You get the 3 times you're gonna get it, right? So 3 times is one after the other. So whenever we are talking about one after the other, then it is going to be 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6 multiplies, and that turns out to be 1 over 216 is what you're getting. Now here it says that a boy, with respect to this question I'm explaining, a boy is picking out balls from the bag, 3 red balls, 8, let's say 8 black balls, and 4 yellow balls are there. He takes out a ball, and then the probability that it is a red is 3 over 15, which turns out to be 1 over 5. Okay, 1 over 5 if I reduce it. Now then he puts it back, and then he takes it out, and what is the probability that he gets it the second time? The blue ball or the black ball, it is going to be 8 over 15 is what you will have. Then what is the probability that he gets? This is for the different ones. This was different, this is different. This is for the red, this is for the black or blue, whatever it is. But what if I say every time he's going to get the same red balls? So 1 by 5, 1 by 5, and 1 by 5 would be the probability, is what you're going to say. That is going to be 1 over 125 would be the answer. Okay, these are the chances, that what we are seeing in here. Then he said, find the probability of getting no success in the next 3. In all the 3 there should be no 6. No 6 means 5 by 6. Okay, find the probability of getting no 6s. 5 by 6. Now again 5 by 6 and 5 by 6 would be the condition, right? No sixes. Then that goes as 125 over 216 would be the possible condition as what you have. This type of questions would not be asked because this is not what they have been teaching you all through the while. Now let's look at the geometrical reasoning type of questions. This is a pair of parallel lines that you have. This line is parallel to this one, and here there are certain things that you need to learn about it. Let's go with that. Whenever you see that the angles are on making a Z, okay, whenever the angles are making a Z or they're making a 2 or like this, and where do you measure the angles? You measure the angles here and here. These type of angles are called as alternate interior angles. What are they called as? Alternate interior angles is what you call them. Okay, cool. And then you have another set of angles. Apart from this, you have another set of angles which is like an F. If you get one interior, one exterior angle, okay, and you're making an F or a 7. So if you're making an F, you're making a 7, you're making an up. So further ahead we are going to see it can be, the shape can be like this also, and it can be the other way around also. But here make sure one angle will be interior, one angle will be exterior. Like you can see, this is between the two lines and this is outside the line. Okay, so this type of an angle where you have F and all of that, now the angle could be here also, one between, one outside. So such type of angles are called as corresponding angles. Corresponding angles is what you have here. Okay, then after that, if I just talk about this particular angle here, if I just talk about this angle, this and this angle is 72, so also this angle will be 72. Why is it called as, why is it 72 degrees? Because this is called as the vertically opposite angle. Vertically opposite angles is what you call. When you make an X, this angle and this angle will be same, and this angle and this angle will be same. Okay, after all of this, we have one more angle which would be called as a linear pair. You have already studied about what a linear pair would be like, isn't it? What is a linear pair? When you have a line like this angle and this angle will sum up to 180 degree. They are called as your linear pairs. Now here they are asking you to find the angle X. How's that we do? We take this line, we are covering it up, and it becomes an F. If one is in, the other is out on the same side, and right, they're making an X. So X is equal to F. They are making an F, and X is equal to 72 degrees. The reason is these are the corresponding angles lying on the same side of the transversal is what you will write. Okay, now these two lines, parallel lines, this is transversal, so the angles are on the same side of the transversal. So such type of angles are called as your corresponding angles. First one done. We have 1, 2, 3 pages for it. Okay, then we have the second question over here, give a reason. We have given the reason, corresponding angles, finished. Next it says work out the angle Y. Then if I have to see if I can make an F or if I can make a Z. So if I am making a Z, yes, then Y is equal to 60 degrees is what I get here. Cool. Okay, and why is that? Because these are the alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles is what you get here. Okay, give the reason to your answer. Finished. Okay, that's pretty much easy. Then you have another question over here, find the angle marked X. This is, let's see what we can do for this one. Now here if you see, when you're talking about angle marked X, first of all, can I make an F? Let's make an F here and here. One is out and one should be in, but I do not know this in angle. But then I told you that this complete one is 180 degrees. So from the 180, if I subtract the 59, then I would get my answer for this one. And whatever I get here, the same would be here as well. Okay, so going ahead and doing it, it is 180 minus of 59. That turns out to be 121 degrees. And then X is also equal to 121 degrees. You're going to write it down. Okay, 180 minus 59 is equal to 121. And how do you write? What is the reason that you're going to write over here? Okay, they are a linear pair angles, and the reason is, after the linear pair, these are how did this come? This became as the corresponding angles is what you get here. The F angle is called as the corresponding angle. Okay, the next question here, it says that on the figure this and this is given, which angle is vertically opposite to G? Vertically opposite means the X angles. Now here, if G is there, then it is F is the vertically opposite angle. Corresponding angle to A, the corresponding angle to A, if it is out, this should be in, so it is E. The alternate interior angle to C, okay, we have the C angle, so we need to find the alternate interior angle here. That turns out as, if I have C here, then I have an F here. Okay, so I have an F here again. Cool. The next, corresponding to H outside, corresponding would be D inside on the same side. Okay, alternate to D, let's erase everything and see. I have my D angle here, and I have to find the alternate, and that would be an E angle is what I get here. Okay, moving ahead, we have work out the size of the angle marked X. Angle marked X, how do I find it? Now, these type of angles, both of them are inside. This is called as the consecutive angles. Consecutive interior angles is what you call them. And consecutive interior angles sum to 180 degrees. When I add both of them, they are equal to 180 degrees is what we see. So if they both add to 180 degrees, then this one could be found out as 180 minus 111, isn't it? We can just simply subtract it and we get our answer. That turns out to be 69. Okay, so the angle marked X is 69. And what is the answer? The reason is consecutive interior angles is what you have. Angles sum to 180 degrees is what you will write them. Finished. Okay, further moving to the other side, which I have missed, is your shapes and volumes. How do you calculate the volume? The volume is calculated as, there's a formula for it, area into the height. Okay, area into the height is the formula that we have used for volume all through the time. And here, or this is one formula. If they give you the area, just multiply by height. If they give you a shape like this is a cuboid. What it is, this is a cuboid. Okay, then it is length times breadth times height. Okay, so the length is 11 times 11 times 7. You multiply all of them and you get your answer to it, and that turns out as 847 centimeter cube is what you get here. Then it says, shown are the two cuboids, one cuboid and two cuboid. Both have them the same volume. Okay, so let's calculate V1 and V2. So V1 is, they said both are having the same one. So this is LBH for V1 is equal to LBH for the other one. That is 7 times 4 times 2, okay, is equal to y times 2 times 1. What's going to happen? I need to keep the y here. Rest everything comes here. So 7 into 4 into 2 divided by 2 into 1. The 2 and 2 gets cancelled because they are in multiplication. Then I'm left with 28 centimeter square as the y value. What is it left at? Sorry, not 28 centimeters would be the value of y is what I'm left with here. Why is that so? Because 7 8s are 24, 28 is what you get. Okay, So 28 centimeters. That's how you calculate the volumes. Now, the mensuration part, I do not know why they have given it to you, but they have given it to you. So let's quickly do it. The area So let's continue over here. The question given is, the sphere has a surface area of 800 centimeters square and calculate the radius. Let's go. So what is the formula for the, what do we call it, for the surface area of sphere? Okay, this sphere has a surface area. So surface area of sphere is equal to 4 pi r square. Okay, it is already given to me as 800. 800 is equal to 4 pi r square. 4 goes down, pi goes down, it becomes 800 upon 4 pi is equal to r square. And then what do? You go for 1 times, for 200 times, and then you have 200 over pi. You use your calculator or you write down the value of pi as 22 over 7. So that becomes 200. If supposedly I take the pi value here as 22 by 7, pi can be taken as 22 by 7, then this 7 goes up and 22 goes down, because 7 is in the denominator, goes to the numerator, it should go up, they crisscross and they go right. Then it would be 200 times of 7 divided by 22 is equal to r square. Okay, then further ahead, if I cut it down, 11 times and 100 times, so it becomes 700 over 11 is equal to r square. Then r is equal to root of it becomes what? It becomes root of, when you remove the square root from here to here, it becomes the root of 700 over 11. Okay, so 700 divided by 11, it's going to be 7.97 is the answer for this. It is going to be centimeters would be the answer. Okay, now going ahead with the next question. Calculate the curved surface area of the cylinder. Now I have to calculate the curved surface area of the cylinder. So when we go with the curved surface area of the cylinder, this was never taught to you, but they are teaching it to you. So curved surface area, the formula is given as 2 pi RH. You have to learn these formulas. This is something new for you. So that goes as 2 into 22 by 7 into r. Here look, you do not have the radius, you have the diameter. This is the diameter, so radius would be half of it. So it goes 12 over 2 times of, the height is 7. This 2 goes off, 7 and 7 goes off. You are left with 22 times of 12 now. 22 times of 12 is what you are left with, which is equal to 264 centimeters square. Okay, for the volume, the unit is centimeter cube. This is for the volume. For the area, the unit is centimeter square. Okay, the next question. It says cone has base radius of 21, perpendicular height of 28 and slant height of 35. Work out the surface area of the cone. Now, surface area of cone, when you have 21 radius, 28 height, and the slant height is this much. Surface area formula is pi r l. Now what is the L? You do not take into consideration this 28 for the surface area of the cone. You have to take this, and you have to take, sorry, and then you have to take this height into consideration. So pi is 22 over 7, r is, we just got it, r 21, and L is 35. And let's start simplifying it. 7 ones are 7 threes are. We are left with 22 times of 3 times of 35. Let's do it. 22, take your calculator, 22 times of 3 times of 35, and that turns out to be 2310 centimeter square. Why centimeter square? Because this is just the area. Okay, moving to the next, two more questions to go. Shown below is a padding pool. Okay, Paddington pool, I was reading it as, sorry. Shown below is a padding pool with radius 1.3 meters and depth 40 centimeters. Felix is filling the padding pool at the rate of 15 liters a minute. Work out how long will it take to fill the padding pool. Give your answer to the nearest minute. This is a type of question that has never been taught to you. Okay, first of all, whenever you're pouring water, how do you pour water? You pour the water with respect to the volume. So pouring water, or pouring a pot or something, then you are going to calculate the volume. So you have to calculate volume, and volume of what shape it is a cylinder, right? So the formula for the volume of cylinder is pi r square h. So pi is 22 by 7, r value is 1.3. okay, and this is a square, so you're going to do it square, or you do it in your calculator as 1.3 into 1.3. This becomes r square, and the height is given as 40. Now here there is one more big catch. What is the catch? One of the unit is in meters and the other is in centimeters. So I have to convert this also into centimeters, and when I do that, it becomes 130, not 1.3. It becomes 130 centimeters. 130 into 130. Why? Because I have a square here. So this is what I would get. Okay, now put it in the calculator, the everything, and then you get 22 times of 130 times of 130 times of 40. Then you divide the answer with 7. That is equal to, you get it as 21245. 21245 71.43. This is the volume in centimeters, is what you get. Okay, 212.43 and all of that. Now here, this is in centimeter cube. What it is in centimeter cube. Now then it is saying that when you want to convert it into meter cube, this shouldn't be asking you this much. Just leave it here. Okay, then you need to convert it into liters, and when you convert it into liters, it becomes quite simple for you to solve it then further. Now, liters, 1000 liters is equal to 1000 centimeter cube is equal to 1 liter, right? That's how we calculate it and write it down. 1 minute. So meter cube would become how much? It would become as the decimal would shift to 1000 So it would become, first of all, converting it from the centimeter cube to meter cube, it would become two places, two places, two places. So it becomes 2.124 meter cube. Okay, now there are two ways to do this. I converted this into centimeter. I could also convert this into meter. When I convert this into meter, it becomes 0.4. Let me redo the question for you. I'll erase everything and explain it to you so that it doesn't haunt you. Now, when we are doing this, what is the formula for the cylinder? It is pi r square h is the formula. Pi is 22 by 7. R value is 1.3 times of 1.3, and then you have the h value. H is in centimeters, so convert it into meters, it becomes 0.4. Okay, put it in the calculator. We have 22 times of 1.3 times of 1.3 times of 0.4. That comes out as divided by 7 again. Okay, that turns out as 2.125. 2.125. Okay, this is in meter cube. Now I have to convert from meter cube to liters. Then I need to multiply it with 1000. How much do I need to multiply with 1000? So when I multiply it with 1000, it becomes 2125 liters. It becomes, okay, it converts into liters. Then it says that, if you look at the question, it says that 15 liters in 1 minute. Okay, so if we see it, if I divide it by 15, because it is in 1 minute, then I should get my answer. Okay, so 15, when I divide this also with 15, because it is about per minute that they have given it to me, that turns out as 141. I can call it as 141.6 would be the value. What is it asking me about? Nearest minute. 141 minutes would be the answer here, or 142 minutes would be enough for me to fill the shape in. Then again, it says that the diagram shows a sphere with diameter 14. Work out the volume of the sphere. Okay, give your answer to the next 1 decimal place. Okay, cool. So we need to find the volume of the sphere here. So the formula for the volume of sphere is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, so we'll write all of it together. I have my 4 by 3 here. Okay, pi is 22 by 7. R is 7 centimeters only, because the diameter is 14. 14 divided by 2, I'll get the radius, into 7 into 7 into 7. Why 3 times? Because this is a cube. You have a calculator, directly you can do the cube in the calculator, do it. If you cannot do the cube in the calculator, then write it down on the paper and then do it, so that it becomes easy. This 7 is gone. What am I left with in the numerator? 4 times of 22 times of 2 sevens only. 7 times of 7. Okay, then I get divide by 3, and the answer is 1437.33. This is centimeter cube would be the volume of the sphere that we have. So we have seen the volume of the cylinder, pi r square h, volume of the sphere 4/3 pi r cube. Then we have the surface area of the cylinder 2 pi r h, cone, and the sphere again. Here it spoke about the surface area. In the last question, it is talking about the volume of the sphere. Okay.